district. We're not proposing to change the use in any kind of way. All we're doing is changing the area district and the height district, and that's really just to make it legal. Currently, it's 3 stories, and so it's a little bit over the 35 feet, and so this allows any type of rehab to happen legally. As you can see, it's an apartment complex, 3-story apartment complex, generally offers 1 to 2 bedroom units. And this is just giving you some context of what that looks like. And so we're just aligning this district and the Height District with the remaining parts of Lorraine. The next section here is local retail. Again, this is not changing the use. It's going to stay local retail business. We're just consolidating the area districts to D2. That allows any type of development here to be 1 times the lot area if it's residential, and the 2 height district, which is a maximum of 60 feet. And that's really to align it with the rest of the consistency along this section of Lorraine. As you can see here, this is the existing building. It's no longer, it's vacant right now. There has been some renewed interest in developing this lot. And this is just giving you some context of what that looks like. That building is currently vacant. It's a sea of parking. And the neighborhood planner and the neighborhood manager that was the former neighborhood planner for this area is here to answer those questions if you have specific questions about the investment that is happening along this corridor. The next section here is what we have known as general retail business. These are the green districts that you see highlighted. The proposal here is just to change them to limited retail. And the purpose of that is general retail often allows some of the nuisance uses that you all do not, that don't contribute positively to the residential neighboring areas in the neighborhood. Some of those things are like used car lots and things of that nature. Or some uses, nightclubs, things like that. Limited retail business doesn't allow those things, but it does. It is a good district to use when you have significant investment in vacant properties around. And so this is just giving you some context of what that looks like. Again, as you can see, note to the north is that there's quite a large residential district abutting Lorraine as it does throughout the entire city. And again, this is. I don't believe this is vacant anymore. I think this has been redeveloped here. But I'll have the neighborhood planner step in and our neighborhood manager step in and answer any questions you may have for this particular district. But again, it's limited retail business, and that's really just to make sure that the development that goes in is conducive to the residents nearby. This is also a funeral home here. This funeral home will stay legal even under the limited retail business district, and they can continue operations as usual. The next section here is where the West Park Rapid Station is. As you can see, it's a mix of general retail, semi-industry, and general industry, and it's really legacy industrial zoning. And so the proposal is to change it to limited retail G2, and that's to allow for a mix of uses, including residential, that's not currently permitted. And so this is the aerial here, looking at the Rapid Station as well as surrounding properties, and the proposal of changing it to limited retail business. Again, this is just giving you some context photos of the Rapid Station. This is for a transit-oriented development project, a LIHTC project that they're working on. They just recently did it with another station at the Cadell Station. And so it's a partnership going in to really add density to help with transit and making our city more walkable and having more access to our amenities. And then the next section here is what is mostly zoned as general industry. A lot of this industry here is either non-existent or they're doing more light industry type things like storage and things of that nature. And so we're really just bringing that down from semi-industry and general industry down to semi-industry. And that's really to make sure that we're compatible with the changing uses that are happening nowadays, and making sure that it's compatible with the residential nearby. And that's really important in terms of people being able to rehab their house or refinance their house and things of that nature. And again, this is just proposing to change this to semi-industry district. It's giving you the context of that location and that map change proposal. As you can see, it's a mix of offices and some storage or vacant buildings that could be reused into different uses. And again, this is a heavier industry area. Again, it's a mix of vacant buildings as well as some more light industrial uses along the railroad tracks. But by zoning it back semi-industry, it makes it more compatible with the residential across the street. just giving some context photos for semi-industry. The next step here is the pedestrian retail overlay district. We mapped this in an area where it's closer to the more historical shopping area of Warren and Lorraine, and that's really just to maintain that economic vitality, so that any type of infill development or rehabs can actually happen. It maintains and preserves the pedestrian character of those districts, and then it also protects the public safety by minimizing conflicts with vehicles and the pedestrians. And then it prohibits some of those auto-centric uses that the city and the councilmen are not looking for in this area. And then the other section is the urban form overlay. And you might ask, like, why do you put this here and put the pedestrian retail overlay there? And that's really based on the lot size as well as the district. And so, what are we zoning over? What is that overlay going? And so this is more for where you have larger investments, such as the Westtown RTA station, the Kmart, things of that nature. And not for your more historic shopping districts that are smaller size parcels and things of that nature. It's really to promote equity and safety by encouraging a vibrant pedestrian experience. And it really talks to the form, so making sure that we have eyes on the street, we're setting the buildings closer to the street, making them more walkable, more accessible, and really just overall better design in terms of how the building sits with the public environment. And so that's pretty much it. We're proposing to change these districts in alignment with a lot of the investment that's going on, as well as the proposed investment, and consolidating a lot of this difference in districts and making them more compatible to meet the city's goals of walkability and transit-oriented development. And I'm open to questions.
All right. Thank you for the presentation. I see we have Mr. Bay. I don't know why you signed up for public comment. Okay. Mr. Davenport as well. He signed up public. He's still with you, right?
He is, but he's the neighborhood manager now. And so I know that last time we were here, you said that extra people had to sign in. So.
Okay. Maybe my words were taken out of context.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, sorry. That's my fault.
Mr. Davenport, would you like to come up and share a few words?
I thought it was funny too. I sent him a text this morning. I was like, I know it's silly.
I'm just doing what Shannon told me.
All right.
Sorry.
No, not in that. That's
Okay,
not what I meant.
that's good.
All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Adam Davenport, Planning Manager for the Neighborhood Planning Section for the Planning Commission. Happy to answer any questions about the proposed projects along the district that we're proposing to rezone, but we have a few active applications. One's a low-income housing tax credit project, one by a developer that's actually in Councilmember Spencer's ward, Floridian Collins. They're proposing a similar type project over at the West Park Rapid Station. So a lot of these rapid stations, you'll probably see more of them come before this committee in the future. A lot of them have industrial zoning that we're trying to change to support housing use on these sites. Conversely, along Lorraine, we have some active applications for new development projects that front the street as well. And so we've been talking to Councilman Slife about how those interact with the proposed zoning and how they're a lot in conflict with a lot of those legacy districts. And then, of course, in the past couple of years, we've actually had a redevelopment of the Kmart site at 150th in Lorraine that has a few, kind of a redo of the shopping center as well as a new Aldi's grocery store for the neighborhood. So that's kind of right in the green area on the map change that you see there on Lorraine. So we're kind of bringing some previous projects into conformance and planning for different ones in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Bay, you want to add anything? I see we also, I don't know what the first name, Natalie? Nate?
Oh, Nate, yeah.
Did Nate want to add something from your department?
He's the new neighborhood planner for this area.
Yeah, good morning, Council. Nate Law, new neighborhood planner for the far west side of the city. Nothing to add. We're just excited about the possibility of making Lorraine a more walkable street and encouraging some new neighborhood development at the West Park Rapid Station.
Got it. All right, thank you. Well, technically, we don't have any public comment. These are all staff
Right.
members of planning. We'll open up to the committee for questions. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. I did notice that Clark Fulton photo was on the presentation, but we don't have, there's no zoning change in our area, correct?
Through the chair. No. Okay, that's correct.
He's looking for the picture. It's the mural on Clark, and West 25th. Thank you. Yeah.
Councilman McCormick?
Thank you, Chair. I support this legislation. I just wanted to welcome Nate. I'm happy to see him here at the table. Also mad that you all stole him from Ohio City. He was one of our rock stars at Ohio City Inc., and the city stole him. But very happy to have you here at the city. He did a really great job at Ohio City Inc., doing a lot of neighborhood activities and projects and things like that. So I just wanted to welcome him.
Councilman? Did I see your hand? No. Councilman Hurst?
Thank you. Through the chair to planning director. You all talked with Councilman Slife about this? You met with Councilman, and does the councilman support this? I think this is all Slife's area.
This is all Slife's area, yeah. We've been talking about a number of developments along here. He's in support of this. I think the only thing that I can't remember if we looked at we have the PRO and UFO on this slide, right, as well?
That's correct. So the PRO is closer to Warren, and then the urban form overlay is the rest of Lorraine
Okay.
into the train session.
Yeah.
But he did send in a letter of support and added it, I think, to this
Okay.
agenda.
And then lastly, while all existing businesses are grandfathered in through zoning changes, are there any number of businesses that if closed for whatever that period of time is, would not be able to reopen under their current usage? They would lose their ability to operate if they were to close down and then try to open up later, they would now be in the wrong zone?
Through the chair to the councilman. So the way that the non-conforming clause works is if you are legally existing, meaning you have a legal CO, and if you close for any given amount of time, it's generally up to 6 months to 2 years,
Right.
depending on if you remove items that are obvious of your business, then you would not be able to reopen without going back through the use permit process.
Okay, so it would require use permits if somebody were to close and then want to reopen a shuttered business for the same purpose, they'd have to come to the city for a use variance, most likely.
Potentially, yes. The other thing is everything that is legally existing is grandfathered in.
Right.
So for instance, let's say you have a drive-through. Technically, if you have a drive-through and it closes down for 6 months but doesn't remove the drive-through, they could reopen as a drive-through without needing a variance, but they would probably have to go through design review and other building and housing and planning types of
Okay,
things.
that's all, thanks.
Yep.
All right, anything further from the committee? Seeing nothing further, Councilman Slife is in support of this ordinance. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here this morning. He's under the weather. He did state that he supports the zoning change. It aligns with existing uses. Zoning sets the stage for reinvestment per previous neighborhood plans. However, he's asked for 2 amendments to the piece. In section 7, the 3rd paragraph, the urban form overlay, he would like the south side of Lorraine to be removed from the urban form overlay. He also said pedestrian retail overlay for the south side, but that's in a different section. That's in section 6 of page 5, section 6, the southern side of Lorraine. So I'm taking his comments that he wants PRO and UFO. Has he discussed this with you all at all?
Yeah, he has discussed it with Mr. Davenport, but it will have to go back to city planning.
Okay. So he discussed PRO and UFO.
That's
on
correct.
both on the south side of Lorraine.
Yeah, we drafted this in 2021, actually,
Okay.
before the Kmart redevelopment happened.
Okay.
So we were planning before that, and now kind of,
Gotcha.
have that gone through, that it makes sense for the amendments that he's talking about.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the section 6. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs. West side, westerly side, easterly side, southern side, and northern side. And that falls under the pedestrian retail overlays in that section. Your urban form overlays is section 7, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to amend section 6, strike paragraph 2. In section 7, strike the 3rd paragraph altogether. Is there a second? Second. A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Thank you. See no further questions. Ordinance number 115-2023 as amended stands approved. All right. All right, there you go. All right, our second zoning piece, ordinance number 34-2024 by Councilmember Spencer, an ordinance establishing a 0-foot map building setback on the western side of West 65th Street and establishing a 3-foot map building setback on the south side of Father Caruso Drive, north of Breakwater Avenue, map change 2672.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Chair. Shannon Leonard, Chief City Planner Zoning, City Planning Commission. So the same folks are still sitting next to me because this is also Councilwoman Spencer's new planner, Nate Lowell, as Adam transitions out of that position. But I'm going to turn this over to Xavier. Our zoning section is also going through some transitions, so I will allow Xavier to give this presentation.
Thank you. Hello, Xavier Bay, Senior Assistant City Planner in the zoning section of City Planning. So today, we're looking at where this map change is happening. Here's the context. Sorry, I'll speak a little louder. Here's the Cleveland context. So we're going to be in Ward 15. We're actually going to be north of Detroit Avenue and just south of Route 2. And so, the purposes of this map change is to promote walkability along West 65th Street, allowing these buildings to be sited closer to the right-of-way. It also, it impacts the limited authority that Board of Zoning Appeals have to allow front yard setbacks variances. So basically, here are the existing conditions. And so you can see the residential context around the site. To the west, you have townhouses. And then to the east, you have a multifamily project there. To the south, you see some of the single, two-family houses. And so currently, this site is vacant. And the picture on the top, you can see some of the townhouses right there along Father Caruso. And then you also see a portion of the trail that links this neighborhood to Edgewater Park. And then the picture on the bottom here, you see just the southeastern facing view of the site. You can see it's vacant. Here's some more just site context photos giving you the site. And so just some more information about map setbacks. Required front yard space is basically where no structures can be located. So these are indicated on the building zone maps, either from the center street line or the property line. This one is going to be from the property line. These setbacks take precedence over all other regulations and can only be changed with legislation. And so here you can see the proposed setbacks right there along Father Caruso Ave. We're proposing a 3-foot map setback. And then along there's West 65th Street. You can see we're proposing a 0-foot setback. And this is really to allow infill development on this site. Without these setbacks, it's very difficult to, get a garage in the rear, which is the goal for us to really allow more of a walkable setting in this community. And you could see some more of the context. Really, we're trying to avoid what you could see neighboring this property with the front-loaded garages. It's very not walker-friendly, just especially with the trail connecting to the park just next to here. And that's about it. Really summarizing this, allowing more of a walkable setting for this community, allowing infill development on these vacant lots. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bay, Mrs. Leonard, anything further, Mr. Davenport or Mr., what's your last name? Law?
Yes, it's Law. Yes.
Okay, all right. Anything further? Any further to add?
Happy to answer any questions. We have a proposed redevelopment of this site for 4 single-family houses. So we're in anticipation of trying to align that with kind of what we're given right now. This is the northernmost lot is a city lot. The other is privately owned. So we're trying to make the best case scenario of kind of what we're given, wherein the city only has so much physical land space on the site.
All right, sounds good. Anything? Nope, you're good. All right, we have no one signing public comment. Councilwoman Spencer?
Thank you, Chairman Hairston. This follows a Cleveland City Planning Commission approval of a lot split last year. So this is sort of the one of the next steps that is part of the process. So Planning Commission did review this extensively as well. They reviewed the proposed development. I know that I don't know what the status is of the transfer of the city-owned land, but I know that it will be for appraised value, and there is a healthy market in this part of Ward 15. So I anticipate the city will be made whole by the developer. You will get fair market value for the city-owned portion. And I did get extensive community feedback about this. The main community concern was the height of the proposed structures. I would characterize them as, I suppose they're technically single-family homes. They look like townhouses. But there was concern about the height, and those concerns have been discussed in the community and resolved. So this is the next step to move this along. Thank you.
All right. Anything further from the committee? All right, seeing nothing further from the committee, ordinance number 34-2024 stands approved. All right, thank you all. All right.
Thank you.
This closes our zoning portion of the meeting. Madam Clerk, please call the roll for our general portion of the meeting. Here. Here.
Here.
Thank you. Ordinance number 1388-2023 by council members McCormack, Bishop, Harrison, and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance to vacate a portion of the Detroit Superior Viaduct. I mean, how much is this viaduct we're going to keep vacating? I mean, McCormack, this has to be the 10th Superior Viaduct vacation I've seen. Do we have any of the viaduct left to vacate?
This is a cleanup piece.
Okay, all right.
Cleanup in aisle 6.
Good morning, Director.
Good morning.
And Commissioner.
Morning. So, Mr. Chairman, this is for a partial street vacation requested by Bridgeworks LLC. They're the entity that purchased land from the county to do a large development site. And Rick's going to go through the details here, but essentially they're trying to square off the property to make for a better development site by a partial vacation that's really not needed for public access. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Rick.
Yep. Oops. Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. As the Director mentioned, this is Bridgework, who's going to put in a new building there. The building's going to have commercial in it, public cafe, hotel, restaurant, mixed income housing, a green space, and 200 spaces of parking. As he mentioned, they're trying to square off their property. They'll actually provide for more sidewalk area along there. They're right across the street on Vermont to St. Malachi's Church. So we recommend that we go forward with this vacation and have this building move forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right. Councilman McCormack?
Thank you, Chair. Is this the same vacation that we were working on like a year? Okay, this is the same thing. All right, good to go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman.
I think I
McCormack.
signed off on the approval of this like a while ago.
You remember
So
I just asked him, I said, how much more does
wanted to just
Superior
make sure we're
Viaduct
talking
do we
about the
have
same.
left?
It was complicated. We had the same.
All right. Any further questions from the committee? Seeing no further questions, ordinance number 1388-2023 stands approved. All right. Here you go. Are you doing this next piece as well?
Yeah, I am for Director Hernandez, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, thanks.
Ordinance number 28-2024 by Councilmembers Polenzek, Harrison, and Griffin by departmental request, an emergency ordinance authorizing the Director of Community Development to accept the donation of real property located at 15610 Waterloo Road from Northeast Shores Development Corporation or its designee to be used for public parking.
Mr. Chairman, this is a matter that MOCAP's been working on for the Department of Community Development. Commissioner DeGennaro is going to go through this. Just to highlight that this started with a request from Councilman Polensek for us to look at this parking lot, and this legislation would allow for the donation of a parking lot to the City of Cleveland within the Waterloo Arts District.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, the legislation authorizes the Director of Community Development to accept the donation of property from Northeast Shores Development Corporation, which is in the process of winding down and liquidating its assets. The property is asphalt paved, 9-space parking lot. It's got 9 angled spaces. It connects Waterloo with Shasta Court. Because of its central location in the Waterloo Arts and Entertainment District, it really is a community asset by providing parking to various restaurants and businesses and entertainment venues. And the city, we conducted a condition assessment and found that it was in good condition. We also did a phase 1, and that revealed no concerns, environmental concerns. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So it's going to stay a parking lot, right?
Correct.
And who's going to operate the parking lot, Community Development or Public Works?
Community
Community
development.
development,
This parking lot is free, as I understand it, right?
yes.
Will this become a paid parking lot, or will it stay free?
To Mr. Chairman, it'll stay as a free parking lot. Community development operates parking lots in neighborhoods that are for the neighborhood retail businesses. And typically, Public Works owns the parking lots that are of charge, that are paid parking. It's not a precise line, but that's generally speaking, community development, their parking lots are free.
Okay, because I'm sure Councilman Lindsay would not want this parking lot to turn into a paid parking lot.
Correct.
It's right across from Six Shooter, the Callaloo market there. It's right over the bridge from Ward 10, so I know exactly where this parking lot is. All right, any questions from the committee? See no further questions from the committee. Ordinance number 28-2024 stands approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. This is adjourned. Thank you.